Hello, everyone. Dr. Mad here. Let's get mad about Macbeth. So, this scene, you don't need to worry too much about it in terms of analyzing or learning quotes, but it is a critical scene because it shows that Macbeth has now fallen to the absolute pits. He is killing innocent women and children. He has lost all reason, all humanity. Okay? So the summary is that Lady Macduff is upset that her husband has abandoned them. Then we have a conversation between Lady Macduff and her young son, in which he is shown to be very sweet and innocent and also very intelligent. And that's important, as you'll find out later. The son is killed. Lady Macduff runs away, but we learn later that she too has been killed along with all her other children. So let's listen to the scene first of all before we go through it.
What had he done to make him fly the land?
You must have patience, madam.
He had none. His flight was madness. When our actions do not, our fears do make us traitors.
You know not whether it was his wisdom or his fear.
Wisdom? To leave his wife, to leave his babes, his mansion and his titles in a place from whence himself does fly. He loves us not. He wants the natural touch. For the poor wren, the most diminutive of birds, will fight her young ones in her nest against the owl. All is the fear, and nothing is the love. As little is the wisdom, where the flight so runs against all things.
My dearest cause, I pray you school yourself. But for your husband, he is noble, wise, judicious, and best knows the fits of the season. I dare not speak much further, but cruel are the times when we are traitors and do not know ourselves, when we hold rumour from what we fear, yet know not what we fear, but float upon a wild and violent sea each way and move. I'll take my leave of you. Shall not be long, but I'll be here again. Things at the worst will cease, or else climb upward to what they were before. My pretty cousin, blessing upon you.
Fathered he is, and yet he's fatherless.
I am so much a fool. Should I stay longer, it would be my disgrace and your discomfort. I take my leave at once.
Sirrah, your father's dead, and what will you do now? How will you live?
As birds do, Mother.
What, with worms and flies?
With what I get, I mean. And so do they.
Poor bird. Thou'dst never fear the net nor lime, the pitfall nor the gin.
Why should I, Mother? Poor birds they are not set for. My father is not dead for all your saying.
Yes, he is dead. How wilt thou do for a father?
Nay, how will you do for a husband?
Aye, I can buy me 20 at any market.
Then you'll buy 'em to sell again.
Thou speak'st with all thy wit, and yet if faith with wit enough for thee.
Was my father a traitor, Mother?
Aye, that he was.
What is a traitor?
Why, one that swears and lies.
And be all traitors that do so?
Everyone that does so is a traitor and must be hanged.
And must they all be hanged, that swear and lie?
Everyone.
Who must hang them?
Why, the honest men.
Then the liars and swearers are fools, for there are liars and swearers enow to beat the honest men and hang up them.
Now God help thee, poor monkey. But how wilt thou do for a father?
If he were dead, you'd weep for him. If you would not, 'twere a good sign that I should quickly have a new father.
Poor prattler, how thou talkst.
Bless you, fair dame.
What?
I am not to you known, though in your state of honour I am perfect. I doubt some danger does approach you nearly. If you will take a homely man's advice, be not found here. Hence with your little ones. To fright you thus, methinks I am too savage. To do worse to you were fell cruelty, which is too nigh your person. Heaven preserve you. I dare abide no longer.
Whither should I fly? I have done no harm. But I remember now I am in this earthly world, where to do harm is often laudable, to do good sometime accounted dangerous folly. Why then, alas, do I put up that womanly defence to say I have done no harm? Oh, what are these faces?
Where is your husband?
I hope in no place so unsanctified where such as thou mayst find him.
He's a traitor.
Thou lies, thou shaggy villain.
What, you young fry of treachery?
He has killed me, mother. Run away, I pray you.
Okay, so that's the scene. Now, you can read the summary again, although it's fairly straightforward, the summary. So we're going to go through this briefly because, as I said, you don't need to analyze this in great detail. The point is that Shakespeare wants to show that Macbeth has lost all reason and he has become completely evil. In fact, if we just go back, so the key point here is Lady Macduff and her children are killed. The scene shows that Macbeth has now lost all reason and all sense of goodness. And the question is, what is the effect of this scene in terms of the character of Lady Macduff's young son? So pause this video and ask yourself, what impression do you get of Lady Macduff and her son? Okay, because that's the key point here. Notice there's no quotations or anything. And if I go to the answer slide, the answer is that he comes across as a very sweet and intelligent boy, hence the killing makes us even more horrified than would have been the case if Shakespeare had simply had him killed in an even shorter scene or stage direction. Okay, so if we go back to the top, we don't need to go through really this scene in detail, but very briefly, Lady Macduff is wondering why her husband has abandoned them, left his wife and children. So there's kind of two ways of looking at it, positively or negatively. So obviously the negative way is that he's a coward, he's not a good husband or father. But the positive way is that he has gone because he loves his country. And actually, we know he's not a coward, or we will find out, because he's the one who then comes back, fights Macbeth, and kills Macbeth. Okay? And probably it didn't occur to him, to Lord Macduff, that Macbeth would kill Lady Macduff and her children, because he has nothing to fear from them. There's no reason to kill them. Unlike Banquo or Fleance, I mean, obviously Macduff doesn't really know all the details of that, but there's no reason for Macbeth to kill Lady Macduff and her children. So Lord Macduff probably thought they would be perfectly safe. Okay, so yeah, so we don't need to go through all of this. And in your essays, remember this is a play, so think about form. Form means type of text. So this is a play, it's on stage. Ask yourself, as a director, what kind of actors would you hire for Lady Macduff and the son? And the answer is you hire actors who are innocent sounding, or you would direct them to be innocent sounding, so that when they get killed, the audience feels complete sympathy for them. Okay, so like I say, as you listen to this scene, I hope you saw that she sounds very, very innocent, and the little boy, well, obviously as a boy he's innocent anyway, but he's also very intelligent and funny. Okay, and yeah, he makes some really wise comments here about liars and honest people. Okay, so but we don't need to analyze all this. All you do need to do, depending on that question, on the question you get in the exam, so you can refer to the scene, and you should. You don't need any quotes. Just don't talk about how innocent the characters are. I mean, you can even refer to. You are allowed to refer to versions that you may have seen or heard. So you could say, "Oh, in a certain production or in a certain audio version, the actor sounded like this." Okay, you are allowed to say that. I mean, you shouldn't write too much there. Just maybe just one or two sentences. Okay, so that's the scene there. Okay, so there you go. Hope you found that useful. And as always, if you did, please do subscribe and to tell all your friends about it.